Good morning. Click like, click share. This story is about Andre Clarke. Andre Clarke is a guy I used to live with for about 10 years. We dated for about one. So altogether, I think 11 years, 11, 12 years. We was together. Andre Clarke. Somewhere in the 80s, I met Andre in a club. And he wouldn't leave me alone. And we started dating. Now, I lived in a small apartment at the time, me and my son, but mostly me. And he used to live with his mother. Andre was dating some girl named Karen. Karen was about 16 at the time. Andre was in his 20s. And I don't know if they was dating or they just broke up. I think they just broke up because I asked him. And he said, we broke up, blah, blah, blah. She can't get over me because I'm her first, blah, 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 blah. And that's, they had a child together. She was like 16 or 17. So anyway, they said they broke up. He said they broke up. We started dating. I didn't know any of his family at the moment. I think a couple of times I went to his house, his mother's house, and I met one of his sisters or something. And that sister dated one of his good friends. I wouldn't call Curtis his best friend, but one of his good friends, Curtis. So Curtis was dating one of Andre's sisters, and that was it. So, but Curtis was a bad boy. Curtis slept with everybody and everything, and Andre's sister was just one of his women. So, about a year later, I got a bigger apartment, and Andre moved in with me, and he immediately started crying broke. I said, okay, fine. The black woman thing was around at the time. Hold your black man down. I held him down. Come to find out, he's, helping Karen with her stuff. And I'm in school. I'm working. I don't know what's going on in his life. He told me he was working with his stepfather. His stepfather was working in air conditionings and stuff. So he told me he was working with his stepfather, and that was not true. What was true is later on I found out, because when he got in jail, he called me. Not he called me, the one of his customers called me because he was in jail. He told a customer call me. So anyway, customer called me, told me Andre is in jail. She wanted to tell me what for. He need bailed out, blah, blah, blah. I call his friend, Wayne, or whatever. But one day, before I get to all that, I always was trying to leave Andre, by the way. And this story is for Karen and all Andre's baby mothers and all Andre's women, because I know he's a cheat and he's always going to be a cheat. And he cheated on me with all of y'all, and now all of y'all mad. Because Andre did something to all of y'all and you want to blame it on me. But no. First of all, you deserved everything you got because you knew he was my man and you slept with him thinking you was cute. And he fucked around on all of y'all. Don't come after me because motherfucker done fucked y'all life up. and want to blame me for some bullshit. Let me tell you the story. So Andre used to tell me he's working with his stepfather. That was not true. Andre was a drug dealer, crack cocaine and whatever else he was selling up in Long Island. So one day Andre came home, me and him laying in the bed, and we talking. And he was telling me a story about Curtis. Now, Curtis was his partner who sold drugs with Andre up in Long Island. Now, Curtis left Andre's sister and married this girl named Sonia. Sonia was a very nice girl, and she probably still is. Very nice girl. I'll tell you about Sonia in this story. So one day, Andre in bed. Okay, well, okay, I'll tell you that story, then I'll tell you. So one day, Andre's in bed, and me and him is talking. And he tells me a story about Curtis. And he tells me how Curtis selling drugs up in Long Island, never mentioned his own name, because at the time, like I said, I didn't know he was selling drugs. So he told me Curtis went up to Long Island. He was selling drugs out this house, this lady's house, way deep up in Long Island. So when I hear people saying they move in Long Island, I just laugh. I'm like, y'all living with all the crackheads. I'm going to stay down here with the drug dealers. Because a lot of people I know used to deal drugs in Long Island. So anyway, he's telling me about Curtis and this prostitute, one of his customers. He told me Curtis had sex with the girl and made the girl suck his dick. Raw dog. Raw dog now. And then the girl gave him something. And I'm like, he told me what it was. I mean, you can guess what it was. And I'm looking at Andre. I'm like, okay, well, you and Curtis hang around a lot. You go where Curtis go. I know he's not your best friend, but I know he's your close friend. And y'all do a lot of shit together. So I'm like, at this time, me and Andre was having protected sex because I didn't trust him. And all these girls start coming up to me. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let this nigga use a fucking rubber. So anyway, couple of weeks later, Sonia calls me. And she says to me, well, because me and Sonia was mad close. She's Jamaican and she's real nice. A sweet girl. She wasn't one of them fast girls or whatever, them wild Jamaican chicks. No, she was a lady like Jamaican lady. Jamaican girls. She knew how to hella cook. Because she was always inviting me and Andre over to the house. And every time we went there, the food was hella good. She always kept the house clean. So Curtis knew what he was doing. He was whoring on the street, but he kept Sonia as his wife. That's why he married Sonia. Because Sonia was the marrying type. The rest of them was the play type. He wasn't dumb. And Sonia put up with it. Because Curtis was handsome. So she was his wife, and the rest of them was his plaything. So anyway, Andre told me this story about Curtis having a prostitute suck his dick and fuck him off, right? Because one day she came in, she couldn't pay for the crack. So that's what happened. And God knows he caught something. But he failed to mention that he did the same thing. Because him and Curtis was selling drugs up in Long Island as partners. Wayne also sold the drugs, but Wayne was a silent partner. He just gave the money and picked up the stuff and delivered the stuff to Andre and stuff, but Wayne was the silent partner. Wayne and Paige, and they just gave money. They didn't actually sell the drugs at the time, as far as I know. But Andre and Curtis did. They was the buck wild too. You understand? So Paige and Wayne gave Andre and Curtis the money to re-up on the drugs, and they all shared in the money. maybe they all still doing it. But Andre and Curtis was the dealers. Yeah, so for all you bitches out there who want to come after me because you think it was me that gave Andre anything. Nope. It was some prostitute in Long Island that he had him suck off, that he made suck off his dick and fuck him, or whatever. Because this is a story he told me. And then this is a story Sonia called me later on because she was so upset to find out when she went to the doctor of what happened. And she said, Rhonda, we just sitting home, minding our business, being good wives and shit. Of course, she thought I had it. And, for this to happen to me. And I said, I'm sorry about it. So I confronted Andre, of course. No, that ain't me. That was just Curtis, da-da-da. So anyway, so this same girl who gave them what they gave them is the one who set them up. They don't know that, but I do. And then she called me and told me your man is in jail. He need bailed out. I called Wayne. Wayne got the money. He got the other half. He talked to his mom. Everybody went up there, bailed him out. Boom. Now, before that, me and Andre was not doing too well because I told him I'm leaving him. He told me I told him I'm leaving him. He said if I ever leave him, he's going to kill me. He did everything to keep me. He started eating my pussy. He started doing all that. I didn't know nothing about oral sex. And he did it to me. He said, I'm going to do it to you. And it was good. Hell yeah, it was good. And he did everything he can to keep me. But I didn't want to be with him because I knew he was cheating on me. So then I threw him out. And he kept begging me to stay with him. So he was living with his sister at the time. And his sister called me one day and she said, Rhonda, I got something to tell you. So she told me come over. So I went over and she showed me a whole bunch of receipts. Mind you, that many times Karen called my house and I asked Karen many times, Karen, is anything going on with you and Andre? And Karen keeps telling me no. Now, if the baby mother is telling you no, what am I supposed to believe as a woman? I'm asking you outright. I'm asking you to your face. Are you sleeping with him? Are y'all still together? Because I would leave him even quicker and give him to you. But you kept telling me no. Now you want to come after me? So anyway, his sister called me one time because, like I said, I threw his ass out and he still begged me to stay with him. So he was on a day-by-day trial basis. I went to his sister's house where Andre lived now, over there on Nostrand Avenue over there. And she had some stuff to show me. She pulled out a box with a whole bunch of receipts. I think it was yellow receipts. That means I didn't know what it was. And she said, these are receipts that Andre sent in money to some girl in Jamaica, who he married, by the way. He ended up marrying her. I don't know if they're still married, but he ended up marrying her and giving her a green card. So while me and him together, he's cheating with Karen. He's cheating with his now wife and all these slew of women because a couple of times I'm coming from the train station. One bitch came up to me and said, oh, I like your jewelry. I said, oh, my man bought it for me. Meanwhile, he ain't bought shit for me. You understand? Oh, I like your coat. Meanwhile, all he gave me for the coat is $100. And that coat was, what, $4,000? I paid all that by myself. But, to make your man look good, I said, oh, thank you. My man bought it for me. Because I knew this bitch was one of these bitches that Andre used to call his cousin. He used to literally lay right next to me and talk to these girls, telling me it's his cousin. Because I'm the type of woman I'm the type of woman, I'm not tracking my man down. All his bad shit is gonna come to me eventually. And I just used to sit there and I said, "Oh, it's your cousin." He said, "Yeah, it's my cousin." And he would talk to them. And I would let him. Because when I'm ready to leave you, I'm done with you because I already know all your fucking dirt. So you can't talk your way out of me leaving you for nothing. So he's sitting down there telling me it's his cousins. Those were all his women. I knew who Karen was. But he had a lot of friends. He was very popular with the guys and the girls. So anytime he on the phone, he would say, "Oh, this is so and so, this is so and so, and this is so and so." If it's a guy, it's his friend, or whatever. It's a girl, it was friend. No, these bitches he was fucking. So don't come to me because y'all knew he was my man living with me, and y'all fucked him. So whatever he gave y'all, that's on y'all. That's what you get for fucking with anybody I fuck with. Something always go wrong in your fucking life, all right? So don't fucking come blame me for some bullshit. Anyway. So, like I said, eventually I threw him out. His sister called me and showed me a box full of yellow receipts. For those who don't know, because I didn't know, she was showing me he was wiring money to some chick in Jamaica. I forgot her name. And how he met her because him and his mother went to Jamaica twice together while he was living with me. And while he was living with me, he met this girl, which is his wife now. And like I said, I don't know if they still married. And he started taking care of her. Because, when you in these countries, you meet an American person or somebody in America, you swear they making money. So they keep sending you money. So he kept sending her money. And his sister showed me. She said, because Rhonda, you don't deserve that. Because you're a good girlfriend. And Andre keep fucking around and doing this to you. I want you to see to your face. She said, because I'm going through this with my husband, and maybe God is making me go through it with my husband because we all know what Andre is doing to you and nobody's saying nothing to you. So she showed me everything. Then I thought that was the top of that. He's taking care of some bitch in Jamaica. She popped out something else. His baby. His second son with Karen, who I think is not his son, but Karen told him his son, so I don't know if he ever took a blood test. He don't know. He don't look like Andre. The first son looked everything like Andre. Second son looked nothing like Andre. So in my mind, it's not his son, but his sister said she brought out the baby because the baby was staying with her and Andre because something was going on in Karen's life or whatever. Or he took the baby for the weekend or something. And Andre gave her the baby to take care of. Right? So she told me this is Andre's second son with Karen. I said, "Oh, thanks for telling me." Of course, I wanted to destroy everything that he had in the house at the time. And I tried, and she stopped me. She said, "Rhonda, don't do it." She said, "It's not going to solve no problems. Just go on with your life." And that I did. But I waited that day until he came home, and I confronted him. So he'll know never, ever to come to my door and talk to me or beg me or lie to me or tell me. I said, because the receipts is all here. Because like I said, when I confront, when you do all your shit, I'm letting you do all your shit, making you think I'm stupid. But I'm gathering information. So when I leave you, I'm leaving you forever. So there's no talking your way back to me. And his sister gave me all the information, okay? I know his family was upset with her, but she didn't care because her new husband was doing that shit to her. And she felt it was a sign from God. And she sat me down and not told me stuff, showed me everything. She showed me all the receipts from the wires. He used to send her $100 every week. to Jamaica. Then she showed me the baby. Boom. And she told me. So all you bum ass bitches who want to come after me because Andre gave you fucking dreaded disease and shit and thinking it was me. Fuck all of y'all. Go about your life. You cheated on him knowing that he was my man. So you deserve it. Go fuck with Andre. Go talk to him and his bullshit. Because once a fucking cheater is always a fucking cheater. He cheated on all of us. So don't think you, just because he was with me formally and cheating with you, that he wasn't cheating on you with somebody else. Andre had women all over the place. I got out when I got out. And he wouldn't even let me out. He told me he would kill me. I remember one time I went to Kings Highway to Lucille Roberts to exercise, but I didn't tell Andre where I was going. He found out where I was going somehow. I don't know if he called my homegirl or whatever. He came to the gym and he made them announce my name. So I went down there and I saw it was him. I'm like, oh, okay. He said, what are you doing here? I said, I'm exercising. He said, get your stuff, let's go. I'm like, get my stuff, let's go. I said, why? I said, I'm exercising. He said, oh, you ain't tell me where you was going. Oh, you might have somebody here with you. I'm like, Andre, this is a place for only women. And you know I don't get down like that. He said, let's go. So I went and got my stuff, got in the car. He said, I know you're trying to leave me, but if you ever leave me, I'm killing you, Rhonda. And he showed me what he was going to do. So it took me a long time to get out that relationship. Plus, he was hitting on me. Yes, he's a woman beater. So, it took me a long time to even tell anybody that Andre used to hit on me. Because it was embarrassing at the time. But then I got stronger and stronger. And I let people know, I threw that motherfucker out because he always was putting his hands on me. You can ask any of my neighbors, they all heard us. I didn't take it laying down. I was fighting him back. But I'm a woman. He's stronger than me. So I got out that bad relationship. And that's the only man that ever put a hand on me. You understand? And when I got out that relationship, he talked this way. Because, after you leave a guy, you still think the good things in him. So that's why I went back with him when he moved out. When I threw him out and his sister called me and let me know what was going on. And finally, I broke it off with him. You understand? But his mother knew. His mother used to sit there and feed me food. And she's supposed to be a God-fearing person. She knew. His stepfather knew. They was nice people. They all knew he was cheating on me with some girl up in Jamaica and Karen. They all knew. Nobody told me. And she got a husband. But that's his family. His family's supposed to keep his secret. So, I didn't go too much in it because his parents were nice. And thank you for his sister telling me what a scumbag that he is. So please stop bothering me, Karen, and all of y'all. Talk to Andre and his nasty ass. You understand? And the kind of man Andre was, he think he's slick. So I know he's screwing around on his wife. Is she still his wife? Most likely she is. And of course she got it too. So for all of y'all who keep looking at me, look at Andre and his nasty ass, okay? Because even after he went in jail and He came out of jail and he got bailed out. And I told him it's either drugs or the money, because I'm still thinking he's just a drug dealer. And I helped him go through school. I paid for his schooling. I got no benefits off of that, mind you. That's why he's the worst boyfriend I ever had. Andre turned me against black men. After I left Andre, I stopped dating black men. I started dating other men. White men, Spanish men, anybody but black, and definitely I was not dating Jamaican men. He turned me off for all of that. That's how bad of a boyfriend he was to me. He was the worst thing that ever happened to me. You hear me? The worst boyfriend I ever had. Up to this day, he's still the worst. So I want no part of Mr. Clarke. Y'all can keep him. Or you baby mothers, because I don't know how many kids he got by now. Or you mistresses, or you wives. Y'all keep that over fucking there, okay? Stop messing with me and my shit. You talk to your fucking man, Mr. Andre Clarke. You talk to him and tell him keep his dick to himself and wear a fucking condom, okay? Because he's a dirty ass motherfucker. He is the worst. Not only does he cheat on you, he wants to hit you at that. He's a fucking woman beater. So I want no parts of Andre. Y'all can have him. But I just want y'all bitches to know the story. Because it's going around, oh, she didn't. No, it was Mr. Clarke. Talk to your boy. Talk to your man. And leave me the fuck alone. All right? Peace.